Tell us about one of our newest sponsors here.
Yeah, guys. I want to talk to you about Menu RX because my guy, Dr. Jake May, is the main guy there with Menu RX. And, you know, for people trying to lose weight like me, it can be a struggle, man. I was struggling all weekend. I'm on weight loss medication. I had some side effects that affected me. It's tough. There's a lot of obese people out there, myself included. A lot of people struggling with weight their whole lives. I'm sure you've been to all the well-known diet places that make the same diet for everybody, but it doesn't work. Now there's a lot of fad diets that pop up all the time. Eat this, eat that, do this, starve yourself here, blah, blah. If you're sick of fad diets, if you're sick of chain weight loss operations that just work for the general public and not for you, well, go to menu-rx.com, talk to Dr. Jake May and the rest of the team there, and let them design a plan just for you, specifically for you. Have someone you can consult with and talk to when you're going through the struggles that understand. This is not some random fly-by-night operation. You'll be talking with scientists and nutritionists, dietitians who work specifically and study specifically to help you lose weight. Instead of guessing what might work, Menu RX takes a personalized, science-backed approach to nutrition that's built entirely around you. Menu RX even accepts many insurance plans and HSA, FSA payments, so you might pay as little as $0 out of pocket. So whether you're chasing peak performance, building your dream body, or seeking optimal longevity, Menu-RX will help you reach your goals. Go to menu-rx.com to get your consultation today. There you go.
So we started talking Shedeur Sanders earlier, and we're going to get back to that conversation. But I want to start it with this, Tyvis, and I want to start with you on this in particular. Every time Shedeur comes up, people say he brings extra attention and drama that comes along with it. And I want to make it very clear. When we have this discussion, I don't think it's drama. Drama implies something bad. I just think it's attention that comes with the person, the player Shedeur is, and the weight his name carries. Tyvis, from a football standpoint, when we talk about a backup quarterback or a fifth-round pick in this instance who brings extra attention to what he does as a football player, what does that actually look like? Can you give us a little insight into what that means when everyone says, oh, the extra attention that comes with Shedeur? What actually is that?
I mean, the extra attention would be like national media always checking in on him. Like he would be a guy. It's like Bronny. Like when Bronny do something in the G League, they make sure they mention it or something like that. Shedeur has that same thing. Why? Because one, his dad was who his dad was. His dad also worked for NFL Network and stuff like that. So people are going to check in. He is a story that people want to see the end to. And because of the way the draft went for him, they want to see, did it make him or break him? You know, that's kind of the thing. Like, did that break him to where he's never going to be as good and everybody was right? Or is this kid proving people wrong? Like, is he going to become the starter, which would be a great story for ESPN and everybody involved. So that's the only attention. But, like, as far as the locker room goes, like, it's nothing. Like, it's really a nothing thing. He's going to show up. He's going to go to meetings. He's not going to get treated no differently than nobody else. And he's going to have to do his job and do his business. This guy, if he's coming in as a fifth-round pick, that means he's fourth on the depth chart right now. He'll barely get any reps. Rookie minicamp starts in, a week or two. He'll probably be the second quarterback there because it'll be him and Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel obviously will take the 1 reps. He'll take the 2 reps, and then they'll flip at some point, and then they'll do it like that. But when OTAs start, him and Dylan Gabriel splitting third-team reps, you know. So he really has to lock in and make those reps count because in those reps he's got to show why he deserves to be 3 or why does he need to be with the 2s like that. That's what you're going to see in OTA. So as far as the attention goes, that's just the national media just checking in on him all the time. But when it comes to him actually in the building and playing the game, it's nothing for the players or the coaches.
So you don't think any of the players will be bothered by the national attention?
No.
Okay.
So
I got my own. They got their own stuff to worry about.
So let's talk about what people do all the time. See, this is a red herring. let's just be real. People use the word distraction and drama as a vague way to say, I just don't like what comes with this dude. I might not identify with him. I don't like the fact that he flashes the rollie. I don't like the fact that you was in a club with celebrities. I don't like the fact that somebody gave you $1 million. Why did they give him $1 million for sliding? He slid for a purpose. He wasn't humble. He wasn't. Listen, Aaron Rodgers ain't humble. Bro, nobody is humble. Like, bro, people on this set ain't humble. Like, you don't get nothing.
I'm not humble.
When it comes
I'm very.
Man, when it comes to your job and what you're doing in your career, you have to have a certain level of edge about you that says, I'm going to continue to knock down these walls, and even if nobody don't believe in me. So that's one thing. People use the word drama and say, I'm gonna use that. I don't really like him like that because, you know, whatever it may be that rubs you the wrong way. But the reality of the situation, that's on you. It has nothing to do with the players. When you say it's a distraction, the people in the locker room, he's a cancer to the locker room. Half the people that say cancer to the locker room never been in the locker room. I find that convenient. What locker room you been in to understand? Did you talk to a player to say it was? Did you talk to any relatives? How do you know? You didn't do no interviews. So the narrative about being a distraction is just created and thrown on people. I got people up here all the time. I got Tyvis, I got Dustin, Sean King come on here, Cecil Shorts come on there. And you know what they tell me? And this is great while you watch UCSS. You know what they say? Man, when you undrafted, when you a third rounder, when you doing certain things, you worried about trying to take care of your family and going out here playing and busting your tail and breaking your career open. You're not worried about Shedeur Sanders. If you play defense, you never see Shedeur Sanders. He's over there, I'm over here. And if you get cut, think about this. I don't want you on my team. If you get cut because you can't concentrate because of the reporter asked you about Shedeur Sanders, you don't deserve to be in the NFL, and that's just the way it is.
They're not going to even ask
that.
They're not going to ask.
It's not a thing.
Unless Shedeur did something like in the preseason, then they'll ask you. But they're not about to ask. You know what they're going to do? They're going to go ask Shedeur about, or ask Kevin about Shedeur. So they're not about to ask no player about another player. The only time that players will talk to Shedeur is in the locker room.
Say it again.
We got meeting. What do y'all think go on in NFL buildings?
So I want y'all to get this down. So you don't. So Tommy JX564222. That says he's a distraction.
Let me break this down.
Talk to him again.
Let's describe just a typical regular NFL day. Okay, let's say we're in the regular season. This is how it goes. If you got treatment, if you got like an injury or something, or treatment, you're there at 6 o'clock, okay? So you go in the training room, all right? Everybody else shows up around 7:30. Meetings start around 8 o'clock, 7:45, some 8 o'clock. Starts with special teams meeting. Special teams meeting is 15 minutes. After special teams meeting, it goes right into team meeting. Team meeting's about 15 to 20 minutes. After team meeting, you go offense, defense. Offense goes into a room with the OC. Defense goes in a room with their DC. They sit there, they break down the game plan. After that happens, you go and do individual meetings. So you DBs or linebackers, quarterbacks, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. After that, you get 1 hour in between for lunch. And as you eat lunch, you get lunch for an hour, then you got to go get taped and get ready for practice. You have practice. Practice is about an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. After that, you go back in the locker room, you take a shower, you get lunch or you get dinner, and you then watch tape from practice that you just had. Mm-hmm. After that, boom, the day is over. You're getting out of there about 5, 6 o'clock.
5, 6 o'clock and do some dudes.
So the amount of time that you have to sit there and talk to locker room talk is what, 2.5 hours out of that entire day? I just
locker
said?
Room talk, huh?
Like 2 hours. You getting lunch or something like that? Like,
so the distractions that these guys are coming up with are mythical.
Yeah.
So when you say distraction and drama, make them speak and say exactly what you're talking about, because from the mouth of a former pro who done it, that was in the locker room, he said it ain't no distraction. So the distraction must be with you, not you personally, but the fan. That's where the conflict is coming.
That was a really mean point, G. I felt some emphasis.
No, there was no
emphasis. No. I just happened to be my buddy on that.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I think that, so there were all these reports that maybe he didn't handle these interviews well. Who knows what the truth is? maybe there was some level of him not being as prepared for these interviews. Maybe. I have no idea. But I will say this.
Keep talking. Go ahead. Get your money off.
The guys doing the interviews are older guys, right? And you're used to what you're used to. And you're used to talking with college kids that don't have a ton of money. And that's changing just in general, not just because of Shedeur, because all these guys are not coming out, especially if they're really good. They've made money in college, you know. And the players, for the first time in the history of college sports, have power. Players, you had no power when you played.
Not at all.
None. You got no money.
Nope. I was
nothing.
Scratching and clawing just to stay on the team.
These guys, I heard this kid, I can't remember now who it was, the Bengals, like second round pick because he didn't go to a big school. And he was talking, because he didn't get a lot of NIL money because he went to a smaller school. And he was talking about, after the games I would go drive Uber Eats, DoorDash.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sure, like, if you had played, you might have done something like that.
Probably.
Right? Like, because guys didn't have any money.
They allowed them to make money. So
you couldn't get free food from people. Like, maybe, obviously.
No, you could now.
Well, yeah.
Back in my day, you can't get nothing.
I think we're going to see a lot more or we're going to hear a lot more buzz about these old scouts and old GMs who are used to this power dynamic with the players and used to the players coming in very humble because they had no money. And some of the players are going to have a little bit of different attitude. And probably because he's Deion Sanders' son and he's in the limelight, that got extrapolated. Maybe some of it, was Shedeur's fault. Maybe it was a little over the top. And maybe some of it is these guys went in there with an attitude of F this kid.
Can I throw this out?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, who knows what the truth is? But
see, this is my problem. I had a problem with the whole notion of you not coming in being professional and you not coming in being humble, bro. The NFL has had a long track record of asking stupid, inappropriate questions. Which is more immature?
Didn't Amari Cooper say that to somebody?
Which is more immature?
Yeah.
Him coming in and not reading your playbook like you want, or a general manager asking Des Bryant if his mother was a sex worker.
Yeah. Those questions are inexcusable.
But no.
Wait a minute.
We're not going to skim over it. Listen, these guys are asked, somebody asked, hey, do you, when did you have an inappropriate sexual conduct with a man? How could you ask a player that?
Yeah. Didn't somebody ask, do you find your mom attractive?
Do you find your mom attractive?
Yeah.
Now, this is what
somebody asked Eli, was he gay?
That was him. That was him.
As far as Eli
this is the level and the foundation that the NFL is built on. So these are grown men, that been sitting up in here in these offices doing all this, and you asking them type of questions, but yet still, oh, Deion's kid, the narrative, he did it to himself. Let me ask you a question. If your daughter went to a meeting or an interview and they asked her about her sexual orientation as a father, is that okay?
Of course not.
But why is it okay?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait.
I'm asking.
Because I understand that when some of these people ask that because they want to see what makes you tick.
But
find another way.
But how is it?
Like it was like somebody with, like, not me, but somebody asked somebody person, like, what would you do if I slapped you right now? And again, like, what you mean? I'm gonna beat you again.
How is it again as a professional? Listen, I conducted interviews with millions of people as a mid-level manager, right? There are certain questions HR tell you ain't not even crossing, touching, looking at. As a matter of fact, to protect yourself, we do interviews in threes so that we can have plausible deniability so somebody can say, I see what they said. And do I think that it's the craziest thing and the most, is it the most egregious thing in the world? No. But all I'm bringing up is the hypocrisy and the double standards of anonymous people sitting there talking about unprofessional behavior, and you're asking about things that would get you sued or fired in the real world.
Yeah.
The NFL does this stuff and hides and throws rocks and puts his hand behind his hand, and that doesn't they've been doing it with a bunch of things. If we look at it, domestic violence, they did it with CTE, they did it with the combine stuff. At the end of the day, if you want to have a level playing field and talk about professional behavior, make sure that people's phone numbers don't get leaked out so people don't get pranked.
I
How
agree.
about that?
I agree with everything you say, G. I will say, though, two things can be true. One, the league handles things. I think it's a disgrace the way they ask these questions. It's completely inappropriate. Just because you couch it in, we got to see how he reacts to these. You can find other questions to see how somebody reacts without getting to that inappropriate level. That being said, I do want to know if my quarterback is studying a playbook I'm sending him. Right? Like
that's great.
You got to know that.
That's great.
You got to know.
But I would try to take that information by, hey, here's the playbook. It's a tablet. It says how much hours you wrote on it and how much hours you study. The tablet don't lie. If you give me the tablet back and it says you only study 2 hours and I asked you to study the entire playbook, I know you didn't study.
What my boy Johnny do?
0 hours.
Yeah.
0.
And that's it. And if he didn't, and if in fact Shedeur didn't look at the playbooks, well, that's something he's got to correct.
If he didn't look at the playbooks, the Giants say, "Listen, we appreciate you coming in.
Yeah.
No, we wish you best luck in the process and keep it pushing."
They said that Brian Daboll went at him and he didn't like the way he came at him because he didn't, I guess, about studying the play. I don't know.
Listen,
I don't know what it is.
If you're Brian Daboll, listen. Sometimes the best way of finding out about a person is not looking directly at him.
Don't do that. No, heck no, G. Because now you tripping. Now you talking about a guy who you about to. You got. This is the thing. Hold on. Wait a minute. Because this is the thing. You talking about a guy who you have to justify being your franchise quarterback. So for Brian Daboll,
and saving his job
and saving my job. So like, you better know these things because I have to leave this meeting and then go up to the general manager and say, I have to have that guy.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And if you give me anything, why would I do
being
that?
sneaky about how to see if they're studying.
I think you misconstrued me. I agree with everything you and McNuggets are saying. What I'm saying is, if I'm Brian Daboll, I give you the playbook, you didn't read the playbook, I'm not going back and forth with you. I'm going to just say, listen, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you.
I agree.
And we're on to the next one.
I think you're missing the report with the Giants. He got the playbook, and then Daboll asked him, according to reports, these are just reports, who knows the validity of them, these are just reports, to go over and write out some play.
Okay.
And then he wanted to change it on the fly to see how Shedeur would adapt on the fly.
Okay.
He was not prepared with the terminology or the install terminology, according to these reports.
Okay.
And then when Daboll said, hey, like, we asked you to know this so we could have this discussion, according to reports, Daboll did not like Sanders' answer to that. So that it wasn't he didn't read the playbook. It was allegedly, reportedly, it was a back and forth in not knowing the install terminology.
Here's how you do it. You go to the board, pull up XJ25 slant go. You don't know that terminology? Note to self.
See ya.
Okay. No problem. No, come on over here. We'll go over some other stuff.
No, but in the same breath.
I'm not saying that's a problem. I'm not saying that's a huge thing.
What you're saying is absolutely right. What a lot of people would do.
Yeah, I'm done with
there's
that.
also coaches have the thing where you never really want to miss an opportunity to coach because although he blew it with the Giants, that confrontation woke him up for next time. So I don't know if he had another meeting or not after that with another team. But if somebody came to him and said, hey, we want to give you this install, so you need to know this inside and out, I bet you he like, all right, after just having that, all right, I'm going to definitely make sure I know the terminology for it. So it's one of those situations that I'm not saying Brian Daboll's right or wrong in the situation, but I think he took that opportunity to teach a lesson.
Okay, so it's all about here's how I go about it. It's all about having an opportunity to have the interview. And if I could teach at that moment, or I could come away with two different ways. I could be confrontational about it, which it seems like there was a confrontation.
I mean, I got into it with Aaron Glenn.
So, or there's another.
Tell us about that.
I tell you that story. All right, so we when I'm doing my draft thing, they came to the Woody, Ohio State's facility, and it was me, Eli, and Vaughn. And Aaron Glenn came in there and he drew up the defense on the board.
Was he with New Orleans at the time?
Yeah, he was the DB coach in New Orleans. He drew up the defense on the board. And after he got done, he erased it and he said, Tyvis, go to the board and draw up the defense. So I go up there and I draw up the defense, exactly like what it is. And he goes, it was a buzz player. It was like they called it something else. I called it buzz, but it's the same thing. I drew it up perfectly. And he was like, well, what's that called? And I'm like, it's a buzz player. He's like, no, that's wrong. I'm like, how's that wrong? That's literally what it is. And Vaughn was sitting there. He was like, it's not called buzz. It's called something else. I'm like, you know what the heck? You know I know what it is. But that, like, me and him got into it over that. And that was, like, so when you say that, when I hear this Shedeur thing, like, I'm wondering, did he draw it up and didn't know what to call it? But he actually knew what it was. Like, because at that point, like, you just pull it.
Who knows?
You just, like, that's petty.
Only Shedeur and the teams he met with know the truth of exactly what happened. A lot of cases, there's one side, there's the other side, and then there's the truth in the middle. So was Shedeur as prepared as he could have been? Maybe not.
No.
Did the teams all handle it perfectly? Maybe not. Whatever it is doesn't matter. Now he's a Cleveland Brown. He needs to work his ass off to get better because the league, you can say what you want, that he should have gone higher. The league, enough teams in the league decided he wasn't worth a first-round pick. So he needs to show them, and he needs to stick it in everybody's face and say, I was worth a higher pick. Let's go out there and do it. Whatever led to this point is pretty much irrelevant.
Like for me, like could he have probably done a lot of different things differently in the interview process? Sure.
Yeah.
I think there's some situations where he went in there unprepared because he think he's going higher than that, right? But in that instance, that works for the betterment of him. Like you said, it's a blessing in disguise. Maybe Dable came at him a little bit because it's like, okay, well, now I know, like, people really ain't really messing with me like that. You know? Yeah. People really ain't even, they just not messing with me. And like you said, no, he shouldn't have went higher. You never get mad that somebody didn't choose or take you. It's up to you to make them pay for not taking you.
That's a
right.
fact.
You see what I'm saying? Like, hey, look, bro, hey, thank you so much. The only opportunity that he need is the one they gave him in Cleveland. Because if he put on and do what he needs to do, all of the different stuff that he want to do, he can get to that. And I agree with you in a sense, too. We started talking about the overall big picture, right? And there is a bigger picture where you got Shedeur Sanders, right? And he's another high-profile quarterback. He's here. The thing that I don't want to get to, and you mentioned it a little bit earlier, is the fact that you don't want to seem to find a way to make every single person the narrative that, listen, guy, I see it on the internet, this is not Deshaun Watson. We're not gonna, we don't have to morph this all the way into a Deshaun Watson situation where it was, oh, well, Deshaun Watson was doing that, that's a distraction. Well, now he's doing this, that's a distraction. These people are two different people, two different circumstances, and at the end of the day, let the dude come out here and play. Like, let's judge his game on the field. Like, let's not be. We shouldn't be the National Enquirer. I don't gotta look at his timeline and be on his Instagram page talk about. Did you see what girl he was with? Did you see the meal that he ate with his girlfriend? Did you see the car he bought? Come on, fellas. That's wild to me, man. Like, you got all these quarterbacks. What I want to see is everybody get a shot, including Shedeur Sanders, and the best man win. But the drama conversation, I think we could tuck it in and be like, look, he's here now. It doesn't matter if Jimmy picked him. Don't matter if Stefanski picked him. It don't matter if D Haslam picked him. He's here in the building. Now what we going to do with it? Let's get to work. Let's play this ball.